I can't see the sea. Oh. It smells great. It's salt in the air. Whoa, the rocks are slippy today. Oh, the tide's still a little high. Got a nice mark. For once I've got here just in time. Last few times I've been here I've been farting about with ropes and even tempted with my waders, but today I'm just gonna get wet feet if I need to. Can I jump that far? Yeah. Barnacles and Slippy today. Oh wow, look. The sea urchin. This is the I call it an island, but it's not, it's just a low water mark. It's got 2 pinch points. Fished it a few years ago with a lad I know called Carl. I don't know if anyone else fishes it, so I call it Carl's mark because he can't move to Germany. Hi Carl, if you're watching. Some local who's watching this will probably be able to tell us exactly what it's called. If you know its name, then leave it down in the comments, that'd be great. But to be fair, it's probably still going to be called Carl's mark because we had a mint time. In fact, it was the first ever YouTube video I made. Right, well we're here. Let's get kitted up. You just have to trust us, but the views here are great. We often see a lot of dolphins and things, but obviously there's none of that going on today. Not for the moment anyway. Got a Daiwa BG Magsealed reel, which is cracking, and on that got some 12-pound Tasline Elite Braid, which I order in from Australia. It's cheap and absolutely awesome. On that I've got some 20-pound fluorocarbon, which is tied on with a bit of a scratty looking FG knot there. So it turns out that I've forgotten the cable for this camera, which is my main camera with the microphone. Bollocks. One day someone's going to make universal serial bus cable that is as it suggests and is universal and fits everything. Got my radio unlocked. So I'm going to start off with this slider 3.5-inch green ghost shad and a weedless setup with a 14-gram Chebaruska, Cheb for short, and there we go. Oh, I just got a waft of fish on the air. It's either my rod or fish in the water. Right, so that's the setup. Let's get going. It's hard to even see where the structure is in this light. I'm guessing though, because the waves are crashing around, hopefully the fish might be a little higher in the water. Drag locked down a bit. Because I don't have that much sensitivity, I'm just going to nick the hook into the back of this lure a touch, so it's nice and smooth. Launch out into the mist. Yeah, there's a kelp. I'm just going to let it, hopefully let the lure sink down on the near side of this structure. We'll change the location. Gonna have a scratch around in these gullies here. Oh, there's still a bit of water. Ground's really heavy here. Probably end up getting snagged quite quickly, especially in these waves. But There's a kelp. You never know, there could be a big one lurking around. Just checking my lure every time it comes up, making sure the tip of the hook's nicked in. So there we go. There's a big guy there. So a pain in the arse, but if he's here, he knows the fish are here, so it's a good sign for me. It's not the type of fish I'm looking for. Oh, fish on. Ooh. Giving us a little scrap there, but I think it was just in the weed. Just like it is now. Yeah, it's just a little one. Well, it's not that bad actually. There we go. First one of the day. Probably about 2 pounds. Nah, £1.5. Straight away. Boom. Well, that was the first one of the day. Probably about £1.5, £2. Looked like it had been caught before. I actually thought when I hit I was stuck in some weed. Think what had happened is he'd hit on the drop and then he'd literally gone straight into the weed, and yeah, lifted out and felt a head shake and away we went. Nice to get one on the board in such weird conditions. I find it a little bit tough actually because I can't see the structure. I can't cast very far with the setup that I've got at the moment, so trying to feel my way around in the swell, and it's really difficult to kind of, you know, feel the bottom. And I could put a heavier weight on and that would make it a bit easier, but I'm trying to keep the sink rate of my lure as slow as possible, and that's literally just to give more time for the fish to hit it on their way down. At least that's my theory anyway. Whoa, something had to go at that. Felt a couple of little taps. Looks like something nipped at the tail or so. Pass that back out that way. Just in the middle of this gully here. There's a bit of structure out there on the left that you can see, and then there's something more further on the right. So, and in front of us I've got this big bank of weed. I'm just going to cast that a bit right on top of the structure there. Oh, I've just snagged myself on top of a rock. That was a great cast. There we go. I'm out. Well, I've been scratching around for about an hour and a bit now, and I've had that one fish. Low tide is in pretty much an hour, so, and then I've got another 2 left on here before I have to leave. So I've been scratching around in my random lure box and I found a metal. I'm gonna whack this on and cover some ground at range, I guess. This is a Mental Metals, I believe. Blue and pink with a single bit blunt 3/0 mustard assist hook on. So I believe it's my only one, so it's just gonna have to do. Get that clipped on and let's whack it out. Probably had a bird. Right, well, I've found a few casts around with that lure and just approaching slack water now, so I think what I'm going to do is move a little bit, find a little bit of different water to fish. Probably come back here when the tide starts pushing in and you get a real good current running through the structure here. The waves are coming round here. I've just seen one coming up here, so I'm just making sure that the bit that I want to fish on there is going to stay dry. Here we go. Yeah, that looks alright. Dicey on here. I'm not going to spend too long here, I don't think, because the tide's going to be pushing in. But I'm going to call it a day here because these waves are getting more frequent. This pool looks good. Giving all these little areas a go. Haven't fished before. Just while I got this. Had this little pink lure on. Oh, there we go. Right, I'm off the kelp. The clean bottom down there by the looks of it. Just going to let it sink down. Yep, got myself stuck. You can see a bit of a channel here in light water. This is probably a cleanish bottom. Cormorant's just dived as well, so I'm gonna have a little chuck in here and see if we can winkle any fish out. Oop. Into some breakfast. So it's 10 o'clock. The tide turned about 10 minutes ago. So it'll be slack water now. The sun's trying to get out. Now it has. You can see all this. You can tell the tides have been small recently. This is the biggest one of the of this period, and it's just picked up all of this weed in the water, which is making it really difficult to fish in. Just catching on my line. But this bit here looks really fishy. Loads of current moving through it. Ah, fuck. Damn. Tie a new leader. What I'm going to do is go the opposite to light and stick an 18 gram cheb on. got any left. Yeah, looks like one there. Get some extra distance. Fish a bit quicker because time is pushing on. That's the beauty of fishing with these bottom weights is, well, from Spro they're called a bottom weight, but I think their names are Chabaruska, so you can just keep swapping weights over. If you have to use a lure clip on them because this can snip your line. Easy as that. 10 to 18 grams. See if I can find a way through all this crap on the surface. Bit of a breeze picking up now as well, so it's going to just blow this weed into the fishing area some more. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe give it, I've got a load of weed on by the feel of it, give it another half an hour or so and then maybe try and find a different mark to fish. That point over there looks really tempting with the tides honking through there. Well, I'm going to have one last cast. Well, I've broken down my stuff. It's I've probably got another hour and a half on this mark before the tide pushes us off, but it's just a nightmare with this floating weed rubbish that's in the water. It's floating past and the tide's moving south, so I was hoping it was going to kind of, you know, disappear, but this breeze has picked up, which is wind over tide, so it's just all accumulating in front of us and can't fish effectively. So I think what I'm going to do is have a quick run back to the car, and then while I'm on my way to the car decide which mark I'm going to fish for the next couple of hours. I was really hopeful this morning as well, you know, a lot of tide running through, there was seals, cormorants, you know, it was looking good, but this floating weed's just making it really difficult. I don't really want to waste my time anymore, so I've had one fish out of here which has been canny. It's better than blanking, so onwards to the next mark. I'm walking to the second mark now. I've decided just to go to a mark I fish quite frequently. Don't really have a great deal of time, so it's always nice to try new marks, and I did find a new one last week. This mist is going to make any approaches quite tricky. Not the mist itself, but the moisture in the air, and the grass is soaking wet, so I know I'm pretty, and plus, not to mention the big swells I experienced on the first mark. I'm thinking this one's probably my best bet to catch another fish, but more important, it's probably safer than any of the others that I can think of, to be honest, within the time frame that I've got. So just going to keep walking and trudging along, and then I'll get the camera out again when we get back down to the new mark. Well, I'm just kind of halfway down, and looks like something's had a good feed on a gull here. Don't know whether it was another bird or more likely a stoat or a weasel, I guess. There's not much of it left. Cool, nature. So I'm down at the mark now. As you can see, it's misty. Swell's a little smaller, although it's still reasonable. The rocks are really slippy, but I think I'm going to start down here on this little peninsula behind us, just as the tide's coming in. Our boat moves out the way anyway, and then as the tide comes in I'll move further around the corner. It's going to be my luck today that this fella in his boat's going to put a whole string out in front of us and block the whole mark probably. It's nice to have clear water. Nothing floating in it. Oh, that was a little hit. It's a good sign. I'm just rigging myself up a few lures here. I'm not gonna have much time left on this little peninsula with these big waves, and I want to kind of mix it up a little bit. I've been told by a reliable source that there was once a large wrasse pulled out of here, so that would be nice to try and catch. So I got these Z-Man punch craws, which I've used in North Wales, and they actually float. So when they're on the Cheburusca, they're kind of up in the air like that, and the little claws are going, don't eat me, and then hopefully a fish should come and annihilate them. That's the idea anyway. So I'm just going to rig this up. God, they are tough. Go. So, Z-Man punch craw, little Gary Yamamoto crappie bait. I've got what was called a wrasse bite from Jack's LRF from years ago. It's died. This was actually green, but it's taken on some colour, and obviously the green ghost slider minnow that I had my only fish on today, so can't ignore that. I'll go a little selection. Got that on an 18 gram because I want to pin to the bottom. That's 5 grams, and then that one's 14. Stick them in my lure pocket. Well, straight in. Does that cormorant know something I don't? Something just took that. Oh, floating weeds caught up with us. Yep, fish on. Oh, he took that on the drop. Feels like a cod, I think. So hope it's a wrasse. Yeah, it must be a cod. There's not much scrapping going on. Yeah, cod. Oh, look at the colour of that. Fucking hell. Well, I've just got my first fish here. The colour of this thing. That's immense. No wonder he took the craw. Oh, I really wanted it. There we go. He annihilated that. Hit it on the drop. Oh, what a fish. Off like a shot. Really happy with that. That's the first time I've taken a fish on the craw and on this side of the country, and I've taken a cod. It's even better. It's a new bait in the arsenal now. Had a little feeling that it might have been a wrasse, but he wasn't really fighting enough. Right, let's get going before this tide cuts us off. I'm going to move around the corner. Going to get off this rock while I still can. Should have really taken my other camera out and the tripod to lighten this bag up a bit. Well, at least the rock's dry now, so when I came around here earlier it was super slippy. Still a bit slippy. Oh, well, it's turned into a gorgeous day. Just cast out past this point here. You can see there's I can see there's a load of weed and a shelf all the way along here. So what I'm going to do is try and get my lure down into the water, and as long as it doesn't get taken away by the tide, try and bring it along this shelf, see if there's anything living in there. Or I've had some canny Pollack from straight under my feet, so I'm hoping that my theory's right. Feels weird, feels like something might have had a go at it. Fish on. Oh yes. Thought I was waiting for the lure to hit the bottom and it never arrived. This feels like a canny cod. Whatever it is isn't scrapping just yet. Oh, there we go. I think it is a cod. Oh, excellent. Wait. Whoa, that. Oh, it's just come off. Oh, never. Oh, no way. It's bent my hook out. I have never ever had one of these Van Hook hooks bend out. Oh, that felt like a good fish as well. I had my drag locked down. Oh. Well, this Crawz killing it today. Time to get a new hook. Oh, I cannot believe that. Cannot believe that at all. I've been using these hooks for 3 or 4 years, and I've never had that happen. I mean, that is catastrophic failure, really. Whatever that was felt like a weight. And then it didn't actually know that it was hooked, I don't think, and then when it got near my feet it just went for it, and that was the result. Bloody hell. I'm liking these Crawz. Good hit. It's not the same fish though. Oh, I don't know actually. Oh, it's come off again. Oh, damn, that felt like a good one. I'm gonna have a move. Can't believe that. 2 good fish in 10 minutes. That could be the my only opportunities for the day. I need to leave at 2 o'clock, so that'll give us enough time for about 2 or 3 more casts. Yeah, fishy, 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 fishy. Well, that's it for the day. Gonna have to go back, celebrate my birthday some other way without catching any big fish. But never mind, it's been a great day actually. Pretty hard work finding out that those Crawz catch fish is it's been brilliant. I mean, I've been carrying those things around with us for a couple of years now at least. I bought them for a particular trip and then never really used them again, so I'll definitely be getting some more. And I've learned not to tighten my drag up too much, or maybe I should just get some stronger hooks. But I did say that I'd never done that before, but I actually remember one time on Sky in February when the big fish are about, and I did bend one out then because I had to lock down the drag. But I've landed numerous 7-pounders from the shore without it happening before, so probably my mistake, to be honest. Well, you live and learn, don't you? Well, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like button. If you do subscribe, hit that bell, because then you'll get notified when I bring my next video out, or when the next video drops. So until then, tight lines, see you again on the next one.